Justin Simmons just sent a message to the Commanders' front office, loud and clear. And with training camp on the horizon, Washington's tight end room might be on the verge of something special if one key player can take that next step. Smash that like button and subscribe to Commanders HQ, the one place for everything Washington Commanders. Rumors, news, analysis, you get it all right here. Let's jump into today's double feature: the Justin Simmons situation and the fascinating battle brewing in the tight end room. There's a reason Washington is being called a top-tier contender in 2025. Coming off an NFC Championship appearance and a monster offseason, this roster looks built to compete. But there's one glaring hole: safety. After Jeremy Chin walked in free agency, the Commanders' depth on the back end suddenly feels shaky. Enter Justin Simmons. The veteran free agent safety, four-time All-Pro, and former cornerstone of the Broncos secondary is still unsigned, and he's made it very clear what he wants next. A contender is number one on the list right now, Simmons told the Denver Post. Simmons spent 2024 in Atlanta after 8 standout years in Denver. He played in 16 games, posted 62 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 7 pass breakups, but never quite fit the Falcons' scheme. Now, with Washington looking for leadership and playmaking at safety, this could be a match made in football heaven. Make no mistake, Simmons is still a high-level player. At 31, he may not be in his absolute prime, but he has plenty of good football left. And if the Commanders want to make a Super Bowl push this year, he's the kind of veteran who could raise the ceiling for Joe Witt Jr.'s defense. With Quan Martin entrenched as a starter, the real question is who lines up next to him. Will Harris has the inside track, but has been inconsistent throughout his career. Percy Butler and Tyler Owens offer promise, but remain largely unproven. That's where Simmons comes in. Even on a one-year deal, he offers experience, leadership, and ball-hawking instincts that could flip games in crunch time. If the Commanders are serious about closing the gap on teams like the 49ers or Eagles, this is the kind of move Adam Peters can't afford to pass up. Let's shift to the offense, and to a position that might surprise some fans: tight end. Washington's tight end room heading into 2025 looks exactly the same as 2024. Zach Ertz, Ben Sinnott, John Bates, Colson Yankoff, with Tyree Jackson and Cole Turner battling for fringe spots. But this group could look very different when the season starts. Why? Because Ben Sinnott is expected to make the leap, and the entire offense might shift if he does. When Adam Peters drafted Sinnott out of Kansas State, he couldn't hide his excitement. He called him Juice, referencing Kyle Juszczyk, and even threw out a George Kittle comparison. High praise. But in year one, Sinnott barely got off the ground. Just 5 catches, while Ertz dominated reps and finished with 66 receptions and 7 touchdowns. Still, that rookie year was valuable. Now in year 2, Sinnott has the chance to step into a much bigger role. He's fast, smart, and versatile, capable of lining up in line, in the slot, or even out wide. If he delivers on Peters' vision, he could become Jayden Daniels' go-to weapon in 2025. Then there's Colson Yankoff, the player few talk about but the coaching staff loves. A converted QB with a versatility to line up as a fullback, H-back, or flex tight end. He's the kind of chess piece Kyle Shanahan would drool over, and guess what? So does Cliff Kingsbury. If Sinnott and Yankoff emerge this year, it could completely shift the offensive scheme. More 2 tight end sets with play action, motion-heavy packages to confuse defenses, more creative protection schemes to support Jayden Daniels. The potential is real. The Washington Commanders are no longer rebuilding. After a shocking run to the NFC Championship game in 2024, they're now being viewed as a legitimate contender in the NFC. Jayden Daniels is entering year 2 with Cliff Kingsbury. Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel headline a deep receiver room. Laramie Tunsil leads a retooled offensive line, and the secondary just got younger and faster. But despite all of that, there's one hole that stands out like a sore thumb: edge rusher. CBS Sports' Josh Edwards nailed it in a recent column. The Commanders have a lot of defensive ends who will be firm at the point of attack, but they lack any and all explosiveness off the edge. And he's right. After Dante Fowler Jr. left for the Cowboys in free agency, the Commanders haven't made a real move to replace his presence. They added interior help, they reshuffled the linebacker unit, but they haven't signed a proven edge threat who can consistently win on third downs. Believe it or not, there are still names out there. Zadarius Smith, aging but productive with 10 sacks last season. Jadeveon Clowney rejuvenated in 2024 with Baltimore. Carl Lawson, still only 29 and looking for another shot. Adam Peters has built a reputation as a GM who waits for the right deal, but with training camp starting July 22nd, time is running short. A veteran edge rusher on a one-year deal could provide exactly what this defense needs without mortgaging the future. Let's be honest, the current edge options aren't bad, but they aren't great either. KJ Henry showed flashes in his rookie season. Andre Jones Jr. is a development piece. Cleveland Farrell was signed but is more of a run stopper than a speed threat. There's potential, sure, but no proven game changer. And if you're trying to beat teams like San Francisco or Philadelphia in January, you need someone who can get home, period. Speaking of the defensive front, one name who might not even make it to Week 1 is Eddie Goldman. The Commanders brought him in as a big-bodied run stuffer, 6'4", 338, but his resume is spotty. Retired after 2021, missed 2 full seasons, inconsistent in 2024 with Atlanta. He's fighting for a spot behind Daron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, and Johnny Newton. And with Sheldon Day and Carl Davis Jr. pushing hard, Goldman could be one of the first odd men out. This is part of Adam Peters' new standard: perform or you're gone. No reputations, just results. Let's talk about Javon Kinlaw, the $45 million man. Bleacher Report recently called Kinlaw the Commanders' biggest bust candidate of the offseason. Simply put, the Washington Commanders probably overpaid to land defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw. That's a bold claim, but not totally off base. Kinlaw started all 17 games for the Jets last season and posted a career-high 4.5 sacks. Solid, but not what you'd expect from a top-tier payday. He's being brought in to replace Jonathan Allen and will line up next to Payne. That's a big ask. If Kinlaw doesn't elevate his game, this defensive line might fall short when it matters most. If Kinlaw flops or even underwhelms, that contract becomes a spotlight. The Commanders are betting big on him. He has to show up. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball, Terry McLaurin continues to be the model of consistency and still doesn't have his extension. Pro Football Focus recently ranked McLaurin as one of the league's top deep threats. McLaurin was the only wide receiver in this group to post a 1,000-yard season in 2024, 16 deep receptions for 474 yards, 5 TDs, and 6th in YAC per reception. And yet, he's still waiting on a new deal. He'll turn 30 in September, and he just posted his best season yet with 96 catches for 1,323 yards. The Commanders can't afford to let this drag out much longer. McLaurin held out of minicamp. If he holds out of training camp, the noise around his future will get a lot louder. Training camp starts soon. Here's what fans should keep their eyes on. Will the Commanders sign Justin Simmons before July 22nd? Can Sanat push Earths and earn legitimate tight end 1 reps? Does Yankov carve out a real role as a hybrid weapon? Remember, Washington is no longer trying to build respect. They're chasing titles now. Every position group matters. Every roster spot counts. Whether it's Simmons on defense or Sanat or Yankov on offense, the Commanders need stars to rise if they want to take that final step. Commanders fans, what do you think? Should Adam Peters go get Justin Simmons? Is the tight end group better than people think? Could Sanat or Yankov be breakout stars this season? Let us know in the comments below. Smash that like button, tap subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because here at Commanders HQ, we're bringing the heat all season long. This is Commanders HQ, signing off.